Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Double year. Year to the year of the bull. We're in the year of the bull, right?
Yeah, no. Damn, mouse?
No. It's something big. It's something big.
Is it the walrus?
Something big and fat.
Is it the walrus?
Something big and
the biggest.
So, welcome to PopNerdom, where Hansi and I sit down and tell you all the nasty shit. Oh wait, no, that's the other podcast.
Well, that's the other podcast.
This is the one where we...
that's the OnlyFans podcast. That's the OnlyFans podcast.
Yeah, where we sit down and we talk about only the important shit that's happening in the pop world of nerdom. I'm your boy Six.
Your boy Hanz, baby.
We don't have to tell you if you follow. By the way, thank you for following. Thank you for hitting like.
Yep.
Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for telling
sharing.
everybody to watch this. Yes. But we missed last week, essentially because we both got something to do that was actually more important than the show. And I'm not putting the show down. This show is very important to both of us.
Yes, sir.
But we
Humanity.
both got vaccinated.
Yes.
Our
fight against COVID.
I feel like fucking Superman. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm good.
My neck.
We're flexing too much and shit. So we're doing our part. We're trying to fucking stay alive and keep the people that we care for safe and ourselves safe.
Yep.
So it's all we're doing. So if you don't believe in it, good. Fuck off. And if you do, please go do your part and try to help us off.
That's all.
So,
public service announcement over.
So we skipped the last episode of WandaVision on the recap version, but I don't think we need to recap it at this point.
Nope.
We've had every podcast on the earth.
Yep. In the nerd industry, break it down and break down the breakdowns and recap the recaps.
So yes. So instead of breaking it down, why don't we talk about the effect that the show had, our opinion on the show, rather than
1 week post WandaVision.
The week after.
Yes.
The week after. Let's see how we feel about it. Tell me, Hansi, how are you doing with it?
Now, as a totality, the show, the finale was satisfying, but not ground blowing. It wasn't like they showed Magneto, but they showed the Scarlet Witch, who in the comic world is big juice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Big juice.
She's
in the
very
fridge.
important.
You heard? She's mom's juice. You don't touch that juice. You heard? You drink everything around that juice. You don't touch that one. You heard?
Don't be touching that juice, bro.
Exactly. No, that's my mom's juice, dog.
That shit, it's not poison or anything, but it'll make you sick if you drink it. Just from the nerves, bro. The nerves be killing you. You be like, oh no.
So, I learned one thing about this show and about these, I guess, what the Marvel shows are going to feel like moving forward, that there are many games within the actual game, you know?
And so, you get... That was, I think, my major problem with the show. I have two major problems with the show, essentially. One was that the payoff for the build-up, but, truthfully, was it build-up or was it just...
Is that we went into this trying to... We went into it thinking it was going to do what every other piece of media in that family has done, which was push it forward some way, somehow. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it did, but it didn't. It did like the hokey pokey in a square. It moved, but did you move?
So look, ultimately, yes, the payoff is Wanda, the Scarlet Witch, and you're absolutely right that she's major. She's a major player in the things
Big
that have
fish.
happened in the comic books, not things that have happened in the
In the
movies
screen.
so far.
Yes, sir.
But so makes you think of something like Agent Carter, where it's kind of the same but backwards. Agent Carter was also very kind of like moving sideways, except at the end of that show, even though it looked like nothing happened, she actually made Shield. And if you blink, you missed it. I mean, if you're not paying attention to Agent Carter and what's actually being told to you, you don't realize what she's doing.
And that's why I think that a lot of the things, Agatha
Agatha Harkins, yeah.
still being alive, you know what I'm saying? Wanda figuring out witchcraft, you know what I'm saying? The last few words that Agatha told her, like, yo, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you've done. You don't know what you've started. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right. We don't know what any of that has, and you know what I'm saying? None of it.
And little tidbits of information, like her saying,
and Monica Rambeau's powers being
right,
awakened.
Monica Rambeau's awakened, and that's something that we don't know if that means the beginning of mutants. We don't know if that means something else, and we don't know because we're gonna have to wait to see how that pays off. And the fact that Monica Rambeau gets called up by, I'm gonna assume, Nick Fury.
Yeah,
not
it has to be Nick, because that's where we left off. Nick was in the sky.
Right. And so look, I'm not quite sure what's gonna turn out to be what. Now I was telling you earlier that in the Fat Man Beyond podcast, which you should all watch if you're watching this, which is the Kevin Smith show, in which he's doing the very professionally well done and bigger PopNerdom for longer. They had the director of the whole WandaVision show, and that was great. So I got to have a question put in, which was I didn't ask him, but I asked the moderator, and the moderator asked him, what was the point of bringing that guy to play Quicksilver? Because what really was the point of putting Quicksilver
like if it had no payoff, because it had no payoff. It had that we know in the Wanda, in that little glip, it did nothing. He's Ralph Boner.
Did nothing.
Ha ha ha.
Right.
Ha. Boner.
Right. So the director says, well, he's a great actor. It was a great thing to fuck with her, basically, is what he's saying. But at the end of the day, that's all it was.
Wanda, you fucked with us.
Right. and that's the thing
Wanda, Wanda would have been okay without that written into her. Like, that didn't help push her character stronger or anything. Like, no.
I mean, it kind of created a situation for her that I don't think she was ready to deal with. And
I read somewhere that they were talking about trauma, and you really don't know how people deal with trauma, and having them replace, you know what I mean, like the same character just with a different actor, you know what I mean, from a different franchise, was like kind of how we replace trauma with things that kind of didn't happen. You kind of like gloss over it. Like, if you beat the shit out of me, I'm like, well, he only hit me with his left hand. He's righty. You know what I mean? Like no, like. So
without understanding that it really has repercussions, and so he has something. But the other thing that jumped out at me really big is that this guy works for Disney, and Disney has Donald Duck was in the Navy. That motherfucking Navy SEAL. That motherfucker always looking at you. Fuck around, get shot.
Uncle, you think Uncle Sam gets his money? Listen. Listen, you think Uncle
Mickey
Sam?
Mouse will fuck you up.
Mickey Mouse pimp Uncle Sam. What you talking about?
Mickey Mouse will fuck you up. So I can understand for him to have very well rehearsed and prepared answers for that question very specifically, because it's a question he knows he's gonna get. But the thing that I find that bothered me the most about the show wasn't those little details, was that you really set me up in a really Twilight Zone kind of world where things are fucked up. And I don't mean the world itself, I mean in storytelling. Like you telling me stories in a way that is very Twilight Zone-y, where the payoff of things are not always what they seem.
Yes.
There's always a cost. And so
Always a cost. Yes.
to give me 8 episodes of that and then give me a 9th episode where you solve everything with punching was a big letdown for me. It was the biggest letdown of the show for me.
didn't need the vision on vision violence. The
No,
VVV,
you know,
vision on
it
vision
would've been-
violence, I didn't need it.
it would have been so much cooler if the white vision comes down and tells the other vision. Just have a conversation like they're so smart they're above punching each other.
Like a mind fuck. Just a
Yo, and that
like,
would have
what's
been
pi?
so much better.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And also because essentially he gave him like a Star Trek breakdown, right?
You are flawed and imperfect. Execute your prime function.
I shall analyze error.
Like basically what he did, he was like, if I'm you, but I'm the you that she remembers, and you're supposed to destroy the vision, actually, I don't even exist. You're the vision, so you're gonna destroy yourself.
With
And so
the illest Jedi mind trick, yo. Like Yoda looking from another galaxy, like, strong with the Force.
So, you know, I mean, yeah, it's okay that they punch each other for some sort of action, but that's the thing that I don't think I needed
No,
action.
I didn't. No, like it, because the show started off very unconventionally anyway. You know what I'm saying? So like, I didn't need the Marvel, there's too much superhero in here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it was
Right.
fine. I didn't need that fight at all. Like honestly, until
At
you
all.
mentioned it, I forgot it happened.
So that was my biggest letdown, was that they solve everything with punching, and that's the Marvel way. And I think that is a bad precedent to set, because I think this was, if there was ever, this would have been the chance for you not to punch your way out of something.
To story your way out of it for the people. And I said this, I'm like, for the people that think all superhero shows are the same dressing, just arranged differently, here's WandaVision. Watch this. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you're right.
And then it ended up paying off the same way that it always does. So, is it bad, the show? Absolutely not.
Do you need a season 2?
No.
No, right?
What?
Good,
Why?
good with them, right? Like I don't need a Wanda. No, okay, cool.
No,
Me neither.
because I feel like every question you asked that wasn't answered in the show is gonna be answered in the big stage.
In the bigger stages to come.
Stages.
To come,
You're right.
because
You're right.
I don't-
More than
I-
one. So
I don't need them to give me 9 episodes to just handle whatever they got to handle there in a movie.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, guys.
Right. And you know, the other part that I'm worried about, because it's going to happen, is that they're gonna have to eventually set from zero in the movies for all of those people that didn't watch WandaVision.
Oh, and
and
that's exactly why I said it's a game, a mini game within the bigger game, because not everybody has Disney Plus. So you're not gonna just alienate a portion of your viewing that hasn't seen WandaVision, which I don't understand why people watching MCU wouldn't watch WandaVision, but whatever. Maybe for money purposes and stuff like that, whatever, you know. But that's something that I know for sure, that I read that they're not gonna be like, they're gonna be part of the main story, but not so much that you don't know nothing jumping into Doctor Strange too, you know.
Exactly. And that's why I'm feeling like the best, idealistically, the best show for this, the best one, is gonna be Falcon.
Oh yes,
Falcon and Winter
yes.
Soldier.
Why?
For this formula?
Yes, hell yeah, because they deal with tangible problems.
And they deal with action.
Exactly.
Like if there was one show that can be a show, because it's
Punch
because
your
it
way.
is-
Don't talk. More punching.
Yes, and also it is on what's the word? It's irrelevant technically because you can do a punch of the week every week, or you can do a really big punch because I mean they're gonna have Baron Zemo in it,
Yeah,
so it's
yep.
gonna be more than just a punch of the week. But it's a payoff to a movie that already happened.
Exactly. Exactly. A payoff to events we already seen, so they just have to embellish the in between. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying?
That's all
that's
it is.
all
So,
it is.
like, so Loki suffers from probably the same dangers that WandaVision suffers.
Yeah,
that it's
it's
gonna
in
probably
newish territory. Newish. You know what I'm saying?
and it's gonna set up something that's probably gonna have to be paid off in a big movie, and therefore, no matter what you give me in the show, it's just side dishes. It's always gonna be. It's always gonna be a side dish. Like WandaVision ended up being a really interesting side dish. It started very delicious.
Like you almost
It
thought
ended-
you didn't need your entree, but then you finished it and you're like, nah, I can eat, man. Bring that. Bring that.
Bring that big old steak.
Bring
Yeah,
that
big
steak.
old steak.
That steak. Don't forget the butter, too.
So, so you know, is it good? Absolutely. Is it? Should you watch it if you can, if you want to, if you're willing to pay the money for it? Yes. Is that a reason to get Disney Plus?
No,
Probably not.
No, yo,
But you know what?
It's
is
not
Mandalorian.
Like the Mandalorian was a reason to get Disney Plus, bro.
Right.
You know, like WandaVision.
maybe Falcon the Winter Soldier will be
A reason.
a
yeah.
reason to get Disney
I
Plus.
hope
It
so,
depends on
because-
how it turns out.
Because Wanda's still cool. She ain't lose no cool
Yeah.
points. You feel me?
No,
Vision
no,
still
no.
cool as fuck. He ain't lose no
Yeah.
cool points. Falcon and Winter Soldier could lose some cool points, bro.
Oh yeah.
You feel me?
Oh yeah.
They can lose some cool points, bro.
Now we talked a little bit before, and I know that you haven't finished. The Marvel movies straight through. I just did yesterday. I just finished. I watched Spider-Man: Far From Home yesterday, so I'm done. And it's interesting. The two things that are interesting, because I was worried about this, but I think I gotta wait for you to watch it so we can discuss it. But you've seen the movie, so I'm not ruining it for you. But it's interesting to see what the conversation is after something like WandaVision, because WandaVision chronologically happens
Right.
4 months before
Yeah.
Spider-Man: Far From Home. So to have Sinestro come in and be like, I'm from another dimension, is something that's more viable because of WandaVision. It's a very
alley-oop.
different.
It's alley-oop.
Yes, and it's a very different sentiment. When you saw the movie first 2 years ago, you felt like multiverse.
How?
But now multiverse. But for them, multiverse doesn't sound so crazy because now they dealt with Wanda and what she did in that little town. So, and not only that, but the questions that she's probably making you ask because of what happened. We should see how it ends up paying off. What I was getting at with actually having seen all of the Marvel movies is that they really do have I think they had a problem that they use now as a technique. I think they had a problem where they had unanswered questions or things that they set up that then they had to answer eventually.
And
I
with
think
these
that they got
shows,
better.
word up, and also with these shows that they can put them in between to further explain something, and then maybe put one thing that relates to the future. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like how Loki's going back in time, right? And or maybe he's whatever the heck is the premise of everything. I think he's gonna be time jumping. That's cool because you never know what conversation happens to be said while he's in the 70s, and that's how this one bad guy got. You know what I mean? And that went forward. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So it's I think it's a smarter play to do it in shows, and I think that comes specifically from having questions that they didn't rightfully answer to be answered in a better way. By the time you get to Endgame, there's a lot of things that were mentioned, just mentioning words like blah blah, that when you're paying attention now, knowing everything that you know,
Yes,
it really is like, shit.
It makes exactly certain verbiage, certain things. Even seeing certain people in rooms together, you're like, yo,
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Last question on WandaVision. Did it make you more or equally excited for Doctor Strange? If you were at all excited,
I don't think it changed my. I think I don't think it did anything for me, because I don't really know how that's gonna affect Doctor. Except that Agatha Harkness says to Wanda, the Scarlet Witch will be even more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that if you know Doctor Strange, then that means something. But I don't think, I mean, other than that, I think that it's they didn't give you anything. They didn't have Doctor Strange come to her and be like, you're dangerous. They just said you're dangerous by somebody that you don't know if you can trust.
Exactly, very true.
If we've read the comic books, we know that she could be dangerous.
But most of the time, she really kind of isn't, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and actually, the situations that made her dangerous in the comic books doesn't apply to what the movies are. So I mean, it's still about her kids. So like they took away her kids, so that kind of matches in that sense. But it's not the same amount of danger that she created in the Marvel Universe in House of M. It's just she's dangerous because she's very powerful, but we don't know. But she doesn't seem to be mean or evil or have something that hurt her so bad. Because in the comic book, she actually lost her actual children. She didn't lose children that she created in a bubble. She actually had kids, and she lost them. And that made her go fucking bananas like it should. So, we'll see how it pays off. Doctor Strange, I mean, it's another movie that takes advantage when you watch all of Marvel like a season of a series, like watching a movie at a time in chronological order. Doctor Strange is another movie that really, 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 really takes advantage of that formula. When you put it as an episode rather than a solo movie, it kind of makes more sense where it sits, and it's like, oh, okay, but it's still weird and left field, and it feels more like the Incredible Hulk. Like the Incredible Hulk is part of the main picture, the giant picture, but it sort of doesn't fit. So Doctor Strange is sort of in the same realm. Like he's part of the big gigantic picture, but he sort of doesn't fit. So we'll wait. I mean, hopefully in a few weeks we can talk about, like we did for Star Wars, we can talk about the Marvel movies and see how that goes.
Yes, sir.
But for now, I think you have anything else? You have anything else for me?
No, that's it.
We're trying something new, so we're gonna end here.
We are wandered out. No more vision. No more vision. No more vision. That's it.
No more.
Yo, wait, one more thing. Yo, I really fucking hope they're not doing the West Coast Avengers, yo. I don't like that shit.
Oh, stop!
We're not the East Coast Avengers. We're not the East Coast Avengers. Why are y'all the West Coast Avengers?
Don't hate. Don't hate.
Watered down Vision. Like, get the fuck out of here. You got bleached Vision over there. Don't do that. You're not gonna, because honestly, the Young Avengers should just be the West Coast Avengers should just be the Young Avengers. That's it.
They should, but they don't have any Young Avengers.
Loco, pero que un tiempito, pasaron 5 años y ya. Pasaron 5 años y nadie dijo nada. ¿Qué pasa? Just throw it in there. Chalk it up to the blip. Y ya. ¿Qué pasa?
I mean, maybe.
I don't want no West Coast Avengers, bro. That's just whack.
If they do the Junior Avengers, but is the White Vision is the leader,
that's alright. That's alright.
Okay.
I just don't want the West. So you telling me you motherfuckers went to Sokovia, but you can't get to California? Like, you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, don't do that. Don't water it down, bro. Don't give me no West Coast Adventures. That's all I ask. Thank you. Peace.
Okay. I mean, yes, sir. I'll make sure that.
Let them know, bro. Let them know.
Mr. Mouse. I make sure Mr. Mouse knows what you want.
You know?
And
I got a bag full of shit for him, yo.
Thank you for stopping by. We appreciate your likes, your subscribes. Watch out for Wednesday for Nerd Blitz, and we'll see you then. Same clothes though.
Yeah.
Same clothes. Speedy Cerviche.
He's the leader of the bunch. That's right. A heck of a fighter makes a heck of a lunch.
Same clothes. Peace.
That's the end of the video, and bye. Don't forget to subscribe. That's it.